Hello everybody, and welcome back to my Know by Ear. Today, I wanted to just have a little bit of an off-the-cuff chat about the concept of style, and whether style is about looking our best, or if it's more about having fun with our clothes. Some of the comments on the videos of my Style Week series, Style in the Era of Influence, made me think about this, where people were sharing their experiences and how certain information that they learned helped them inform their own concept of their personal style. And it was really interesting for me to start thinking about this because some of the things that were brought up involved body type methods, color systems, how to dress in kind of more flattering ways or more harmonious ways with the way that we naturally appear. And I'm not for or against these systems as a whole. I don't really have a stance on what I believe is the best way to approach personal style. So this really is just going to be a discussion and maybe provide some things to think about, or some things for you to comment on below. And I do think that there's going to be some overlap, whether we intend for there to be or not, between the ideas of looking our best and having fun with our clothes. For some people, they might be very overlapped as far as perhaps the priorities are kind of on an equal level. And for some people, maybe they have different levels of these priorities where they care more about looking their best or they care more about just having fun in their clothes. There are examples I can think about of celebrities and people in pop culture, despite my dislike of the book that I kind of reviewed during Style Week, using celebrity examples that not everybody would know. But maybe I can find a picture and put it up here so that everybody could see what I'm talking about. But somebody that comes to mind when I think about having fun with your clothes, perhaps to the detriment of being personally flattering, is the singer Billie Eilish, who was known for wearing very oversized styles, like this, perhaps, and kind of concealing the shape of her body before she turned 18, I believe, so she wouldn't be sexualized as a minor. And I'm not up to date on her style choices or anything like that. I don't really follow events or anything where I would see what she's wearing now. The point is, this is an example of having fun with your clothes in a way, or having a purpose that's not being flattering. I guess in her case, the purpose is to be the opposite of flattering in a way. So maybe this actually falls into the category of dressing for your body or for how you appear than for the sake of fun. Maybe I'm kind of using this example in totally the wrong way, the backwards way. The point is, I think you can apply this kind of example to both categories, right? If she's doing it for the reason of her appearance versus the reason of fun and expression. The same could be said for any look that kind of makes a statement, but wouldn't necessarily be a look that looks flattering or that people would say looks good. And this is getting into nebulous territory as well, because what one person thinks looks good might be totally different from what another person thinks looks good. But I guess where this becomes relevant in the realm of style and fashion and consuming content online, especially regarding these things, reading methods about these things, there's usually some kind of narrative that the creator of the content or the stylist or whoever is conveying the knowledge has in their own perception of style. So many of the popular styling videos will be based on how to do a certain thing with your clothes, how to make your legs look longer, how to look taller, how to look slimmer, how to balance your proportions, how to work with your kibby body type, how to find your color season. I guess what I'm saying is that a lot of the content based around fashion, online at least, is based on this first idea about looking your best in some way. And to me, there's some tension between this idea of looking my best versus looking how I want to feel, or looking like I'm having fun with my clothes. And I don't think either one of these is wrong, or better or worse. Like I said, I don't really have a stance here. I don't even really know what my priority is personally. If I were to tell you right now whether I thought I valued looking my best over having fun with my clothes or expressing a distinctive style, I would probably put distinctive style a little bit above looking my best. However, I also acknowledge that if I don't look my best, I may feel like my style is worse. So in some ways, they can be totally connected like this. And maybe for some people they're not connected at all. I would love to hear your experience in the comments about this idea, about whether these are connected for you, which priority might be higher in your book, how you feel when you're expressing maybe a very distinctive style. Do you feel more confident when you're going out this way and you don't really care if it looks good to other people? Or would you feel better if it also looks good? Is it important to have both of these? Or conversely, if you look really good, or perhaps have an outfit on that's very not objectionable, nobody's gonna find an issue with it, but it's not distinctive, it's not fun. Does this make you feel better? Is this more secure? Or is there some element of having to express some element of distinction in there too? I think I do have that element of wanting to show that I'm having fun with my clothes, wanting to show that I'm a little bit individual. And I have this strong aversion to having kind of, I guess, when you're dressing to look your best, you fall into the danger of maybe putting together something basic, where a lot of times what's most trending, not all the time, but a lot of times, some of what's popular will play to looking your best. I think that's a fairly non-controversial statement, right? Some of what's popular at any given time is designed to make people look good, and that's why it becomes popular. So I have a strong aversion to only considering what looks good. And I don't necessarily think that I have a super strong sense of distinctive looks or having fun with my clothes, but I do think I feel better when that element is also a part of the picture. So that's why I have things like colorful shoes, colorful sneakers. That's why I have things like the Tibby jeans with the interesting shape, and why the other jeans with the interesting shape are still on my wish list. Why I feel like they bring so much to my wardrobe, because they're kind of a basic item that looks good. A pair of jeans is fairly unobjectionable, but they have this kind of distinctive factor or fun factor. And I don't know whether that shape would work with my kibby body type or my color season. And in this case, I don't really care, because it's playing to this side of the spectrum of the fun, the distinction, and not to the side of being harmonious and looking good. And like I said, lest I sound like I'm bashing the side of wanting to look good, I'm not. I still want to look good. And I think, again, it's that marriage of, it's a pair of jeans with the distinctive shape that makes it such an appealing thing for me as somebody who perhaps fairly equally strongly values these things, even if I just said that I think my preference for a distinctive look is slightly higher. I guess when I reflect upon it, if the feeling that I don't look good, you know, if I feel like this level is all the way down here and I kind of look actively unflattered in an outfit, then my general sense of confidence might not be that high, right? I might be suffering a little bit, even if it's the most distinctive look in the world. I'm not necessarily the kind of person that's willing to forego all aspects of flattering my figure, at least not all the time. It also kind of depends on the day, right? Do I feel in the mood to subvert all expectations of looking like a proportional human body, or whatever the goal is? And then there'll be other days that I really just don't care. And I can wear my oversized chunky sneakers with oversized pants and an oversized sweater and just feel okay about it, even if I'm just drowning in fabric and have become a shapeless blob of material. And I guess then there's the spectrums of things like color, literally a spectrum. Do I care if a color that I really like looks good on me or not? And then by extension, if I look good or bad in a color, will I feel more or less confident? Will I be affected in my love of an item if I feel like it looks better or worse on me? I think to some extent, personally, I am affected by that. If I think something looks really good on me, I'm probably gonna like it more. And if I think something looks bad on me, even if I really love the item, I might have less of an attachment than I would if I felt like it also looked good, if that makes sense. And in a perfect world, I would always be knocking it out of the park and choosing things that have some level of distinction and fun and that visceral love for that piece that I sometimes experience, and also look really good on me. And I think there are some pieces in my closet that have that level of success. I would hope to say that I've collected a fair few of those pieces, that I'm getting to know more and more how to balance these two aspects of style in my own fashion life. In my own specific wardrobe, some of the things that I feel like hit on both categories for me are the color bright blue, the cobalt blue. I think the lavender suit is a great example of this for me too. It's both a fun color of a very traditional garment, so it kind of has both of these aspects. Perhaps even something like this sweater could qualify for some people. It's a very basic cardigan shape. It's kind of like an oversized grandpa cardigan, but it's in a bright red, kind of like a cherry red color that may or may not be within everybody's comfort zone. And on the bottom I have on the infamous Tibby jeans with that shape at the bottom. That kind of makes them perhaps not for everyone, makes them a little bit more distinctive, but by the nature of them being a pair of jeans, they kind of play into this. Maybe they're not flattering per se, but I'm not going to look totally out of the ordinary because it's denim, it's a pair of jeans, it's a material that's kind of ubiquitous with basic style. And I guess upon reflection, methods like the Kibbe types, the color seasons, the 3 words even, any form of typing strikes me as not as interesting as any forms of style that work with juxtaposing tension or ideas with tension. So in this case, the case that I'm talking about in this video, the tension of looking good versus expressing your style might be a style. Maybe this is my style. Maybe this is the way I should be approaching how I get dressed. How do I balance the urge to look good with the urge to look distinctive, with the urge to have fun with my clothes? For those of you viewing this on the outside, maybe it's clear to you that this is a style for me. Maybe this isn't something that goes through your mind as far as weighing up whether your approach to fashion is to look good and be flattering to your figure and to follow the methods that are designed to make you look your best, versus having fun and wearing what you love based on just pure attraction to the items or the style, without thought of how it might look on you and your body, or without that being the primary concern. Maybe it's also how you would feel in the item. Like my yellow chunky sneakers come to mind here. I don't think anybody in their right mind would consider that a flattering piece of footwear. But when I saw them, I was captivated. And when I thought about wearing them, I thought about how cool I would feel, how kind of avant-garde they would make me feel in my sense of footwear. And to some degree, it's true. Like when I put those shoes on, I do feel very cool and I feel unique. I've never seen anybody with those shoes before. So part of it is just that factual experience of having shoes that I've never seen in real life. Part of that is just the style, where they're almost, dare I say, an ugly pair of shoes, but I still dare to wear them. I'd be so curious to hear your thoughts on this one, to hear whether there's pieces in your closet that you have just for the pure love of them, even if you think they don't look good on you. I'd be curious to hear whether you feel any of this kind of tension in your own sense of getting dressed, in your own sense of style, or whether this is very much its own kind of sense of style in the first place. It might explain some aspects of my style where I like to pair very structured things like the handbags with very kind of casual things like graphic t-shirts, or where I like to pair dress trousers with sneakers. You know, this could be part of the aspect of my style where things like the bags are in the element of looking good and the graphic t-shirt is more expressing my style. Things like the dress pants are looking good, whereas the sneakers are expressing my style. And if I wanted to look good, I could pair these things more in line with each other, you know, have the dress pants with more dressy shoes and make an overall more polished presentation, but sacrifice that sense of wearing something I love just for the sake of it, along with this idea of trying to look good. Anyway, let me know what you think. I look forward to exploring this in my own closet in the weeks to follow as I start pulling out more of my fall-winter items like this sweater, and I'm happy to make their reacquaintance and see how they fit in the spectrum of flattering versus fun. See if any of them kind of tick both of those boxes and fit in both of those categories. All right, bye for now, and I will see you in the next one.